Hello and welcome to Cinetastique. My name is Mark P. Cinetastique, and this is a show all about film, television, and general pop culture. Now, if that's a big interest for you, feel free to subscribe, feel free to hit like on the video, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our uploads. Now, for this episode, we are going to be doing some unboxing. All right, welcome. So, today's episode, I mentioned in the intro, we are doing some unboxing. And what are we unboxing today? We are opening Lord Zedd's Throne from the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. This item was released in March 1st, 2024. And it is quite a sizable entry. It is produced by Super 7, as we can see right at the top here. Let me focus that in. Yeah, you can see that there. Super 7 is famous in the figurine world for producing high quality, high content items. Very respectful of the IPs that they choose to reproduce. Their figurines and their accessories are of very high quality, and fans of the IPs that they work with are all very happy with their work, I believe, because from what I see, they take terrific care to make sure that they replicate the characters as faithfully as possible. And that's important. That's really important. So what have we got here? This is Lord Zedd's Throne, who was the second villain in the original run of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. He was preceded, of course, by the famous Rita Repulsa. And in my quick little bit of research just now, Lord Zedd, because it's been years since I've actually seen the episodes, came across quite dark. He was actually quite a very dark character when he was first introduced. Then after a few episodes was quickly toned down, following complaints from parents apparently who thought he was too evil. Fans of the show much later on criticized the decision to turn him down, and rightfully so. I mean, you don't listen to parents. Sorry, they're overprotective when it comes to TV. I find anyway. So yeah, let's have a look at the box that this comes in. Anyway, we've got the logo here. We've got obviously Lord Zedd's Throne, and on each side we've got these lightning bolts. And the whole thing is shades of green, which just feels very Mighty Morphin Power Rangers-y, probably because main words are in that color scheme as well. Really nice clean box. On the back we've got a beautiful image of Lord Zedd on the throne, and this is the figurine version. So when you buy the combo, hopefully he sits very happily on the throne. I bought I had a Conan figurine, Conan the Barbarian, and then there was an Aquilonian throne for Conan to sit on, but he doesn't sit on it very nicely. He's kind of slouching a little bit when you try to fit him on nicely. So I'm hoping this time is a little bit better. The image certainly suggests so. We've got Lord Zedd here on the throne. He's got his great staff. He's got what looks like a thermal detonator from Star Wars. I'm guessing it's not not that item, because that would be a bit of a copyright breach. I don't know. Maybe it's his morning coffee. I don't know. If you know what that is, let me know in the comments. If you're a big Mighty Morphin Power Rangers fan, you might actually know what he's holding there. Maybe it is an explosive. Could certainly be. But yes, so let's get into opening this up and see what this throne really looks like. This so at the top we've got the classic circle of tape that these boxes are all sealed with, which is good because it shows that if the tape is intact, then the box hasn't been opened. So we're just going to put that in our bin. Now we're going to open him up. Now I like to open these things up carefully, but because it's a video, it can be a bit tricky because you don't want to waste too much time. There we go. I hate when you try to open this and it rips. You know when that happens sometimes? It's very frustrating. I don't like it when that happens. It just feels kind of like I'm damaging the item in a way. It's a very bizarre feeling because obviously you're not, and you're probably just going to throw the box out. As we can see, you know, it's cardboard, got some plastic window at the front, and of course we've got a very big plastic container that the throne comes in, which all this plastic is obviously fantastic for the environment, isn't it? Let's pop the box down there. So you can see actually inside the box is very orange. It's a nice little background, and I think does that pull out? It does actually pull out. So if you wanted to create like a little diorama when you display it, you can have that as a nice sort of backing if you want. Not something I'm going to do. That can just get recycled. But that's the throne, and it is just held in place by a single bit of wire. So we're going to go ahead and undo that. Bear with me. Maybe sing the theme song. I'm sure you all know it. Actually, there's a guy online who does a lot of themes, metal version. Power Rangers meets metal. Look that up in the YouTube search bar, and you'll find this great rendition on electric guitar from this guy who does those sorts of things. He's got some great themes. I highly recommend. Okay, so we've gotten that undone. I'm going to put him down there. We're going to remove him from the plastic. I've had this, I bought this, must have been a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago. So I've had this for quite a while. And plastic doesn't want to give up the throne all that easily. It makes it very awkward and noisy, as you can probably tell with this plastic. Of course, you want to be careful, but this does feel like a very solid throne. So plastic is fighting me on this one. He doesn't want to give up the throne. Who knew? Oh, there we go. Wow. Who knew plastic could have a power trip? So there we go. There's the throne. We've got some great detail in there. Ooh, some red eyes on the eagle bits of the throne, and on the back, Z for Lord Z. There we go. Nice shiny silver thing. The detailing is all over. You've got the sides there, the paneling there on the throne each side, and if you look, you can see catch the light just right, you can see that this is a stone throne, thus the grey colour, and we've got classic sort of cracks in the stonework, which adds quite a nice touch on the background. The stonework look continues as there are subtle cracks, indicating that this thing is old. Lord Zed's throne must be ancient. These villains are always presented as very ancient creatures. They've been locked away or been trapped for thousands of years. So, you know, this is a sort of weather-beaten stone throne, and it really, really looks nice. I mean, look at that. What a beautiful bit of design work from the original creators behind behind the original IP, and of course, you know, this show famously is the English version is recut from original Japanese shows. So we should really be shouting out to the original Japanese designers of the show that eventually was cut up and became Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. I don't know the history. I don't know exactly which show it was. I believe they're called Super Saiyan. Correct me if I'm wrong down below. So yeah, kudos to the original designers, perhaps, of Super Saiyan Lord Zed Throne. Very, very cool. Boom. First unboxing done. We're going to set him aside. I'm going to put him over here. And we are now going to move on to the second one. And since we started with the throne, it's only right that we unbox the man himself, Lord Zed. Lord Zed, one of my personal favourite villains from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. I just thought when I was watching the show, just had an awesome look to him and feel, and you know, we'll go into his design in a little bit, but yes, the box he comes in is very typical of the Super 7 action figure lines from a number of for virtually all of the IPs that they produce figures for. They've done Conan, they've done Transformers, like you name it. Head down to pop culture and you'll see a whole heap of them there. Thundercats, Transformers. Have they done Transformers? I think they've done Transformers. And they all look amazing. They all look fantastic. I've got some of them. I've got Liner back there. Might see He-Man as well. I believe he's a Super 7 as well. Although I could be wrong. I could be wrong about him. He may be from something else. But we're not going to talk about those guys because they're already unboxed. We are talking about Lord Zed. And the box art, it has the same colour motif, same green colour motif. We've got all these faint lightning things because he's a dark evil villain. Displayed black and yellow right there in the middle. Super 7 icon in the back, and then on the bottom and then on the back is the glorious title image, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. And if you're a fan of the show, you would know that this lightning bolt here comes down, you know, all power, thunder and lightning, all very cool, all very 90s, probably mid to late 90s. So the box has a cover. We'll slide the cover off, put it over there, out of the way. And what have we got here? So this is everything that comes with it, and he's got quite a few accessories. He's got an alternate head, which looks exactly like the one he's got. He's got his staff. He's got about 3 of these bomb things. He's got this giant serpent as well, which is a little bit creepy. Alternate hands, so you can have different posable hands. And then on the back we've got a blurb that sort of describes the character and his history there. The one true leader of the evil space aliens, Lord Zed banished Rita Repulsa after her many failures to take matters into his own hands. That's pretty much his first episode. I think he comes in season 2 of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and really takes over. And then I think what looks like on the top here looks like an actual image, perhaps from. It's an image of the. I thought it was actually going to be an image from the TV show, but it's actually. You can actually tell it's the figurine, I believe. Or maybe it is from the TV show, actually, because it's got a kind of look to it that looks like it's been taken from a low-res image, and they've sort of tried to stylize it as best they can. So maybe that is from the live-action series. That's about all we've got in the box. We've got more lightning stuff. Let's open this guy up. The seal stick is still in place, so it's come straight from the factory. No one's opened this up. This is a brand unopened. I'm not going to say brand new because I bought it about 1.5 years ago, but it is unopened. I've kept it specifically aside for videos like this, and I've quite a few. But the problem, of course, is I also have now no space. So it's high time we got some of these unboxing videos done, so I can get some space back. So we've taken the sticker off. We're going to open this up again carefully because as you know, I don't like to rip the boxes. Even though these boxes are going to get recycled, I'm going to be putting them and the plastic in the recycling. I simply do not have space to keep the boxes. I don't think anyone really does these days. I mean, who has time to keep boxes like this? So many bits and pieces. So we're gonna start taking some of these guys out. I'll show you first fully how he is in the thing. Let's start with the snake, because the snake looks pretty solid. Some of these small items could be a bit delicate. I am a little bit concerned about the staff. It is a little thin. The last thing I want to do is try to take some of that and snap it. But there's the snake. There's the first one we've got out. He's sort of all. Well, look at the detail. There's a nice snake-like pattern all over him. Paintwork is quite good, as you can see. Can he focus? Can we get an autofocus? No. Alright. We're just going to move on. We're going to move on. We're going to take out... We're going to take out... We're going to, I think, use some scissors this time and simply cut these guys. Because it might be a bit easier. think I've freed him from that. Now I'm going to be just a little bit careful trying to take him out. The last thing we want to do is actually break these figures. I think he's popping out quite nicely. I should actually try to show you guys as he's popping out, but it's a bit awkward. There he goes. Here he comes. So there he is. There is Lord Zed, and he's got wonderful bit of mobility. You have to be a little bit careful. He's got all these sort of out exterior vein things. One of the design features of Lord Zed is that he seems to be almost like a representation of sort of the human musculatory system. You see, he doesn't look like he's wearing a costume. It looks like his skin has been ripped off almost. He's got his brains there, but it looks like very much. He's just got this armor just sort of holding him together, and you know, maybe does he have lifeblood flowing through these little tubules that riddle his body. It's a very interesting character. I'd love to know the background behind the original Super Saiyan version of this character. Who was he originally? We call him Lord Zed from Power Rangers, but in the original Super Saiyan, I'm sure he had a very different backstory and was a very different character, or maybe he was just as evil. It'll be really fascinating to know. But yeah, good movement, very good movement, really good figure. Really looking forward to seeing if he sits on that throne nicely. First things first, let us give him some accessories. So, oh wow. I'm just going to lie him down there. So I'm look at all these little hands. He's got one hand that's pointing. Oh, there's the staff. Came out very nicely. What I like about the staff is I like the Z at the top. The Z is a very nice touch. Z is also pretty stylized, so if you're in a battle, you've got some sharp edges there that would serve as a great weapon. And on the other end, you've actually got this blade. So it really is a display of power. I'm Lord Zed, here is my Imperial staff. But then also, if you're fighting, lots of sharp edges to cut up your enemies. Relatively speaking, of course, because of course, you know, we're not really going to cut people up in a kids show. But if it was more tailored more for adults, since all the original fans are now adults, now we can cut them up. So let's go ahead and see if we can get this in his grasp. Because his hand on this side, both of them actually seem tailored. So I'm going to make him. Ooh. Let's put it in this hand because that seems more natural. We can just try to get his thumb claw around that. Can we do that? Yes. All right, and that's a solid grip. That's actually very impressive. I've got a number of figures where you give them, say, swords and things, and the grip just hasn't really been tailored that well, and sometimes they just can't. They're not grasping the sword properly. But Lord Zed, he knows how to grasp his staff. Don't read into that statement. He's got a good grip. He's got a good grip on it. It's not shaking in place, and so that's a good thing in terms of putting this figurine together. That's good quality for me. I quite like that. Having a look at some of these other bits and pieces, which I might put in a little plastic baggie, so I can get rid of the... In fact, let's actually choose one of these excess hands. Whoops, we're going over here. See all the detail on all of these hands. Look at that, different kind of hand, different, you know, sort of a grasping sort of grip there. Much more grasping click there. He's sort of, maybe he's about to shoot some lightning bolts perhaps. Another one there. There's still more. There's still more. Look. This one's a fist, closed fist. The one I'm thinking of using. Another one that kind of is kind of a grippy hand. This is the one I'm thinking of using. He's pointing. You. I want you to play. So that's the one I'm going to set aside. I'm going to swap one hand out for that. And here's the last one. So it's another fist. Got so many hands. Some of the last ones we've got is his alternate head. So that's the alternate head. And the difference seems to be the shade of red on his visor, the eye visor, is a lighter red. I'm not sure if that's indicative of something or not. I'm not going to change the head because I quite like the darker red for the visor. I think that looks nice. Then we've got his Star Wars inspired thermonuclear detonators that are either detonators or it could be his morning coffee. Let me know in the comments. There's 3 of them. He's got 3 of them. So maybe he's quite a coffee addict. We're going to set them aside. I'm going to pop them out of the plastic there. Another one. There we have it. One big bit of plastic to help the environment. We will of course be putting that in the recycling where it can be turned into different kinds of plastic. So here's the throne. What we're going to do is we're going to see how well he sits in the throne. Oh, very nice. Actually, I was going to change his... Actually, I might go with one of these grasping ones. Yeah, I think it's a little bit more dramatic, this grasping one, so I'm going to go with that. So we're going to just take Lord Zed's hand off. These things are always awkward to get off, but they just sort of pop out. Thankfully that one just popped out. You do have to be really careful because there are tiny little bits and pieces that connect in. So if you're not careful, you can wind up snapping them, and then you're in trouble. Oh, okay. Okay, whoops. So, so I think I gave him 2 left hands. I think that's the problem there. That's a left hand. That doesn't belong there. So there are... Okay, I should have noticed that. So I want one. That's the one I want. That one. That goes on this hand. Wow, my Lord Zed could have really been in a bit of trouble. 2 left hands. Not good. Okay, so that's in. Ah, that looks much better. So I've given him a more graspy kind of hand. He sort of can reach out and make dramatic gestures. Look at that. Who's his fanboy? Or he can be like, if we maneuver him around a little bit, you know, the world is mine. So we're just going to sit him back in his throne now. The detail on Lord Zed is fantastic. And he sits on the throne perfectly. So I'm just going to raise him up into camera shot on an angle so you can see how well he sits. He sits a lot better than my Conan figure does on his throne. So there is Lord Zed unboxed, as is his throne, making dramatic gestures as he makes glorious evil speeches. Now, is that the end of our unboxing? I think we might wrap that up. We do have another one I was going to do, but I think, it's already half an hour. I think that's going to be the end. That's the unboxing. He's got a snake. We might drape the snake around, perhaps around his waist. Let's, maybe the snake likes him very much. And it's hard to keep him in place. That's it. Thank you all for watching. Really glad I've got these because the quality really is fantastic. And you can probably still pick these guys up if there's some specialist stores in your area that stock this sort of thing. You might very well have these guys on the shelf if you want to pick it up and add it to your collection. Certainly recommend it. He looks fantastic. Certainly worth for any big fans of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. These are the early seasons that I grew up with, but there are so many shows now. They've really gone all out and just continued making Power Rangers. They've got all different Power Ranger teams now, none of whom I've kept following. For me, the original team with Tommy and Kimberly and Billy and all the rest, they're my Power Rangers. I watched them when I was in early high school. I remember year 7 was when actually that was year 7 was the year. It was all the 1 year, wasn't it? Rita Repulsa. Yeah, because I distinctly remember being at high school when the Green Ranger with his little doo-doo-doo-doo, tune, and that storyline, that saga, that was a good one. Well, that was our episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed the items we unboxed today. Keep an eye out for future episodes where we'll be talking about film, television, or general pop culture stuff. I hope you've subscribed. Hope you liked the video. And until next time, keep watching cinema. Ciao.